This is an attempt to explain the difference between a university design student from 1993 and 2023 from the viewpoint of a current university design professor. Here's a representation of myself from 1993. No, he doesn't look like me, but you get the idea. This is a diagram that speaks to the fact there are basically 5 pillars of attention that I had to deal with. Let me first name the pillars with explanations to follow. The first pillar is school. Now, I went to undergrad for architecture, but it offered a design degree. The second pillar is family. The third pillar is television. Then we have friends. And the last pillar we'll call hobbies, or anything outside of the first 4 pillars. Let's look at these pillars one by one, starting with school. First, you have faculty, not all of them, just the ones that you considered meaningful to your education. And then you have your classmates, who become your friends. You typically collect a core group of 3 to 5 peers. Next is family. The first part of this pillar is parents. I consider myself fortunate that my parents stayed together. Then you have siblings. I only had 1, but the average is closer to 3. And I didn't grow up with a dog, but most American families have at least 1. Next is TV. Now this is pretty straightforward. You watched either regular TV or cable. Either or, not both. Then we have friends. Your first set of friends will be your classmates that we mentioned in the school pillar, and if you're fortunate enough, your closest high school friends will remain your friends if you work at it. For the hobbies pillar, this is the most fluid of the pillars. This could be anything like music lessons or church or clubs. And then there are the friends that you make through these activities. Taking a look at the overall picture, it's a manageable scenario, especially when you consider that some of the people you encounter are present in multiple parts of your life. Now, let's look at 2023. This woman represents the standard demographic of an interior design student, a white female. There are more pillars in today's world, 9 compared to 1993's 5. The first 5 pillars are directly related to those from 1993, with one huge exception. We have school, family, then instead of TV, we now have streaming services. Then we have friends and hobbies. Then we have the new pillars. There are online friends, social media, image, also known as self-image. And finally, today's college student almost has to be working while they study to be able to afford college. School is pretty much the same as 1993 in terms of the people that you encounter. There are the faculty that are meaningful to you and your peer friends. Family, too, is about the same, except for perhaps being connected to more extended family in addition to your siblings and pets. The streaming pillar that replaces TV is the first place that gets complicated. Streaming services have almost completely replaced TV and cable. We see what we want when we want. Friends, again, are your classmates and high school buddies. The hobbies pillar is still similar, although your choices for hobbies has increased in 30 years. You might even do it all on your phone, like playing video games, which relates to the next pillar, online friends. Although you have your real-life friends, you also most likely connect with them online while you make other friends exclusively online, or you might even start online dating. And here's where the floodgates open, social media. The average Instagram user has between 1,000 and 10,000 followers. This first group shown here represents only 100 people, and this is only 500. More on this later. Social media is advertising, and advertising leads to issues of self-image based on unrealistic examples. Not shown here are the thousands of advertisers preying on social media accounts looking for vulnerabilities against which they can sell you their products in the name of salvation. Present-day lifestyles come at such a cost that most students feel pressured to have a job, even if it barely makes a dent on their debts. This pillar involves supervisors and co-workers who may or may not become part of their circle of friends. Taking a step back, today's college student is bombarded with concerns from all sides. Imagery, criticism, comparisons, and this is really just the tip of the iceberg. Because of technology, we have access to exponentially more information, data, and prying eyes today than ever before, not to mention 1993. But the actual number of eyes on a student's life is more like this, and the student becomes lost in a sea of what they perceive to be scrutiny. All this makes 1993 look like a piece of cake. In this light, is it any wonder that mental health issues are running rampant in our schools?